Good afternoon, students, and in this video what we're going to be learning how to do is how to do a Ken puzzle. What you can see in front of you here is a Ken puzzle. It's a bit like a Sudoku if you've seen one of those, and it is a puzzle and it is meant to test your thinking. So today, and whenever you do a Ken puzzle, you'll be using the trial and error strategy. The trial and error strategy is where you have to try something, but if it doesn't work, if you make an error, for example, you'll have to rub it out and start again. When doing a Ken puzzle, you might rub out and start again many times. Before we start having a go, I just want to take you through some parts of the Ken puzzle. You can see that it's a large square made up of smaller squares on the inside. You will notice that some of the outlines are bold. That means they're thicker and darker than some of the other ones. These make up different sections. For example, this here is one section. This is one section. This little box all by itself is a section. These two boxes are a section, and these two boxes are a section. You'll notice that in every section there is a number. This one is a 3, in this section it's a 5, this is a 1, that's a 5, and that's a 4. That's because these two boxes inside this section have to add up to this number. These two boxes inside this section have to add up to this number. This box has to add up to a 1. These two boxes have to add together to make a 5, and these two boxes have to add together to make a 4. How do I know they have to add together? Well, next to the number, you can see the symbol, the plus. This is an easy Ken puzzle to start off with, but down the track, there'll be Ken puzzles where you've got not an addition there, but a subtraction, or a multiplication, or even an a division. That's when they get harder. To start with, we are only doing addition. Now you might look at that and think, well, that's not hard. That's easy. I can put a 2 in there and a 1 in there. I'll put a 2 in there and a 3 in there. And that's got to be a 1. Then over here we'll go a 3 in there and a 2 in there. And that's a 2 and a 2. Now of course you'd be correct because 2 and 1 is 3. 2 and 3 is 5. 1 is 1. 3 and 2 is 5. 2 and 2 is 4. But the other part of a Ken puzzle is this. Because this Ken puzzle is 1, 2, 3 boxes and 1, 2, 3 boxes, you can only use the numbers 1, 2, 3. I've done that. I have only used 1s, 2s and 3s to complete my Ken puzzle. But the other part of the rule is you are only allowed a 1, 2 and a 3 along here, a 1, 2 and a 3 down here. So every row and every column can only have 1, 1, 1, 2 and 1, 3, which makes what I've done incorrect. So I'm going to need to rub it out, which might take some time using this program, so how about you just look at the Ken puzzle in front of you, study it, look at where those bold sections are, and we're almost ready to go. The more familiar you are, the easier it will become. Alright, so knowing that I can only use a 1, 2 and a 3 along any row, and a 1, 2 and a 3 going down, meaning I can't double up, let's have another crack at this. I've got to start somewhere. The first place I'm going to start is here because I know that has to be a 1. So that means that in this box and this box, I cannot put a 1. One of those will need to be a 3 and the other will need to be a 2. So I'm going to make that a 3 and that a 2. Now that I have my 1, 2, 3, I can maybe do down here. What I'm going to try is, well, if this one is a 2, I might make this one, well, it's got to add to 3, so it has to be a 1. Now, because I have a 2 and a 1, I'm going to put a 3 in here, because this has to be 1, 2, 3. And you can see that as we start to fill in some of these boxes, we start to see what's left and what they have to be. Because this one is a 3, and it's got to add to 5, I know what that has to be. It's got to be a 2, because 3 plus 2 is 5. If I have a 2 there and a 3 there, it means that this one is a 1. And now you can see that that's a 1, that's a 2, so this one has to be a 3. And I can see that's a 3 and that's a 1, so this one has to be a 2. It's always good to then go check. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's all good. I don't repeat any numbers. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's all good. I don't repeat any numbers. So that's how you do a can-can puzzle. Remember, it will be trial and error. You will be rubbing things out and going and having another go. Let's remember the rules though. You can only have 1, 1, 2, 3 along every row and 1, 1, 2, 3 down every column. These are the big bold sections, and inside there are squares, and those squares have to equal this number here using this symbol. These boxes here for the easy ones are only 3, but when we go harder, there'll be 4 along, and so you will then be able to use 1, 2, 3 and 4, but not when you're working on the 3-box can-can puzzles. You're going to have a go now. What I'd like you to do is try the easy ones first, and then move up and try some of the harder ones. If you need to watch this video again, do so, because that will help you to clarify what to do.